This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day for your Locked On Phillies daily podcast. I got you covered for your Locked On Phillies Postcast. It wasn't that funny the last time it happened, and it's still not funny now. When the Phillies scored, whatever it was, like 11 runs one game and then 2 the next, I think it was. You guys were all like, oh, watch out for the next game. And I was saying this too. We were all on the same page. We were all simpatico. And we were saying, oh, watch out, 13 runs against the Giants, and then watch them come out against the Padres and after a day off, and then and it was exactly that. It was just that for pretty much 9 innings. There was the solo home runs there by Nick Castellanos, which is great, 12th of the season. 30th home run of the season for Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber goes full-blown Schwarberian in San Diego. I remember that blast that he had in the playoffs against San Diego a couple of years ago. And then he teed off on one tonight. Not quite the 441-foot homer, I think it was, in the playoffs. But this was his 425. That was a fun time. That was a good time when he did that. But the big story for me in this game was how horrible the Phillies were in clutch moments. I feel like Ranger Suarez absolutely got dinked and dunked. And somebody's got to explain to me the rules running down first base, because I thought you had to be on the right side of the line. I think it was a rise running down the first base side. I'll get to the details in a second, but I thought he was out of the base path. Whatever. That just didn't make any sense to me. The fact that Ranger Suarez got dinked and dunked, a couple of hits. One went off the mitt of Alec Boehm, and it would have been a ground out to start off that inning. Ended up being a base runner with nobody out to start things out, and then just a couple of awful decisions there by Nick Castellanos, especially with a 3-2 count. I understand you got to protect the plate, but the one thing that really comes back haunting me in this game is Nick Castellanos swinging at a pitch that was shoelace level with the bases loaded and 1 out. That's the play. And I know he hit the home run, and that's great. I know he made a nice sliding grab in right field. That's great. But if there's one play in particular that there could be a do-over, it would be that swing, that if he takes that pitch, it is unquestionably, undoubtedly ball 4, slider away, and the game-tying run crosses the plate. And you don't know what happens after that. Maybe Adam gets rattled after that one. You still got the bases loaded, still got 1 out, still got Max Kepler coming up. Maybe he sells out for a fastball, which seems to be his best trait. But that if I had to relive one, if I had to hit the redo button on one particular thing, it would be that at bat by Nick Castellanos. Let's get into it all. Welcome in once again. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. I'll be getting to your guys' comments coming up in just a second, but let's go through it here. First and foremost, Ranger Suarez. This is the inning I'm talking about. So Nick Castellanos grabs Ranger Suarez a 1-0 lead in the second inning with his 12th home run of the season. Dead center field, 417 feet, was able to jump on a sweeper that stayed out over the middle of the plate, and he just took care of it. So 1-0 Phillies. Bottom of the second inning, Bogert steps up there, hits the ground ball to Alec Boehm. Alec Boehm gets to the ball barely, has it tip off the end of his mitt. So now there's no play for Trea Turner to try to come and make a play. The only way they get Bogaerts there at first base is if Boehm comes up with this ball. Even if Trea Turner is there to back it up and he gets the ball, he's not going to throw out Bogaerts in time, and runs well on this particular ball. They're not going to get him out. So Boehm had to come up with that play. It was just barely an inch, a centimeter closer to Boehm. A half second quicker, and he's on that ball, no problem. And it's 1 out to the up the inning. So perfectly placed ball. That's just the way it goes sometimes. Hit them where they ain't, as they used to say. So now you got Merrill set up there. He gets the sack bunt down. Bogaerts is able to go to third on this, on the throwing error from Ranger Suarez. This is where it was Merrill's sack bunt, not a rise. So this is where it looked like he was in the line there for the pitcher. I don't know. It's one play that I always have trouble remembering the technicality of it, but whatever. Excuse me for that. So Ranger Suarez makes the very uncharacteristic error and throws the ball into shallow right field. That allows Bogaerts to not only take second base, but also allows him to get to third. So now you got a first and third with nobody out. Iglesias steps up there and he ropes a double. Nothing much you could do about that one. Ranger Suarez gave him a pitch to hit. He hit it. That one's on Ranger Suarez. So a run scores. Now it's tied at 1. He strikes out Cronenworth on a changeup that was, for the most part, looking pretty damn good tonight. Gets him on 3 pitches. Diaz steps up there. He gets the RBI ground out. Actually, credit to Trea Turner on this one for getting after it. This could have been a lot worse, but he limited the damage. Another run scores. Now it's a 2-1 ball game. Tatis steps up there. He ropes a single. That one's also on Ranger Suarez, unfortunately. But 2 runs really being scored in that inning. I would look to Ranger Suarez as if, could have been better. The other one, just bad luck, unfortunately. So then Arraez steps up there later in the inning, grounds out to a shortstop. Alec Bohm makes a good play on it, and that's that. Now, there was a little bit more danger in this inning, which ended up not coming around to bite the Phillies in the butt, and that was when Arraez was at the plate and Tatis is on first base. He goes to steal second and would have been out. He would have been out. Trea Turner couldn't handle the one hop. Now, Bryson Stott is where he needs to be on this play, which is backing up the throw, but he slips, allowing Tatis to go to third base. So a little bit extra of a drama there for Ajita, if you will, for Ranger Suarez, but he's able to get out of that with Arraez grounding out to third. But the damage is done. 3-run score in the inning. It's 3-1 in favor of the San Diego Padres. Kyle Schwarber gets you 1 run back for Ranger, picks him up with a solo home run, his 30th of the season in the 3rd inning. So now it's a 3-2 ball game. Okay, plenty of time here for the Phillies to get something going again. That's where we jump into the 5th inning. JT Realmuto steps up, gets the leadoff single. Bryson Stott, unfortunately, grounds into the fielder's choice. Tatis, good play, trapping it on a liner to right field. JT Realmuto is just kind of caught in no man's land. If that ball is 3 feet closer to the infield, 3 feet hit 3 feet more shallow, JT probably reads that, and he's standing on second base, no problem. Now you got first and second with nobody out. That's not the way it would go. Oh, and also the struggling Bryson Stott would also have another base knock to his name. Unfortunately, that's just not what it was. It was a fielder's choice, no base knock for Bryson Stott, and JT Realmuto was thrown out at second base. So the force out is there, and good play by Tatis to recognize that. Marsh then flies out to center field. Left field. Turner works a walk. You got first and second. You got 2 outs. Make something happen. Kyle Schwarber goes in. They go to the bullpen. They bring in the lefty Matsui. Schwarber works a walk. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Mound conference. How are we going to pitch Bryce Harper? And Bryce Harper, I don't know if he was thinking he was going to get a first pitch fastball. I don't know who in their right mind would throw Bryce Harper a first pitch fastball in this situation with the bases loaded and 2 outs. They throw him a first pitch slider. Bryce Harper hit it on the screws, but it ended up being about a 1-hopper to first, and he grounds out to end that inning on 1 pitch. So that was the first opportunity for the Phillies to really have a big hit, maybe take a lead, and they came up empty, unfortunately. Now you fast forward to the 8th inning. 8th inning was just absolutely bonkers. Jason Adam comes in. He's the right-handed pitcher that throws like a catch. He throws like the guy's incredible, but he looks like a third baseman who pitches sometimes in high school. Like or a catcher who pitches sometimes in high. Like he throws from behind his ear. Like that's not how you're supposed to throw, but whatever. Seems to have been working for him for his Major League Baseball career. All right, I digress. Schwarber is the first guy he sees up there. Turner works a walk, 7 pitches, works that walk. Kyle Schwarber goes up there. He goes after a changeup, middle of the plate. You could tell he was pissed that he missed this baseball. This should have ended up, from the way he swung, if he puts good contact on that one, some good wood on that one, you're talking about a 430-foot home run to dead center field at Petco. You could tell when he swung under the ball and popped out to center field that he was pissed, rightfully so. So now you got to run around with 1 out. Schwarber sits down. Harper comes up, puts a single into right field. First and second, 1 out. Bohm comes up there, single into right field. Controversy. Could Trea Turner have scored from second base on this play? The answer to that question emphatically is no. The fact that he hesitated at second base and, quite frankly, had to hesitate at second base with the way Bohm hit that ball into right field, he had to see if somebody was going to snare that line drive. He waits, that downbeat, and that's absolutely what cost him. What also cost him was that Tatis is in right field, who throws extremely well. You're going to make an out at home plate, the second out of the inning, with Castellanos coming up, Kepler coming up. You feel like you could get something going there. Even a little bit of a, stay out of a double play type situation. You get something. Castellanos already has a home run in the game, swinging the bat well. You feel like you're going to get something there so you don't make the out at home. For me, my first thought when the ball went through was Turner's going to score on this. And then I saw the replay with him hesitating at that ball from that angle. That's a little rough read for him. I think they absolutely did the right thing. He would have been out. So then Castellanos goes up there. You got the bases loaded. You got one out. This is the opportunity of opportunities for the Phillies to try to pick up Ranger Suarez. Nick Castellanos, I want to double check this real quick. I believe he was down in the count almost immediately. 0-2. He, where do I have that? Yeah, he's down in the count immediately 0-2. So, all right, don't chase anything, Nick. Don't chase anything. Takes the ball, changeup, down in the zone, lays off it, gets a slider up a little bit, chases it. It was down in the zone. He's able to foul that one off. Then he gets a fastball that was up and in. He fouls that one off. Then he lays off another changeup. Now it's a 2-2 count. Okay, Nick, this is trending in the right direction. Seventh pitch of the at-bat is another ball. It's a slider that he laid off well outside the zone. Now you got a full count, bases loaded, one out, Nick Castellanos at the dish. Now, if you go on to ESPN and you look at their play-by-play or MLB.com and you look at the play-by-play and they show you where the ball was, where it was hit and all that stuff, or where it was located, it doesn't do it justice. The TV broadcast was perfect. That it had the ball about a foot low and outside. And Nick Castellanos, if he would have taken out his 9-iron, he would not have hit this baseball any better than he did. He hits a dribbler, skulls it, whatever you want to call it, right back to Adam, fields it, flips with his glove to home, and they get Trea Turner out at home on the force out. Nick Castellanos takes that pitch, doesn't offer at that pitch, holds up on that pitch. I thought he the way he was offering at this ball, you would have thought that he bet his entire house that that ball was going to be a fastball. It wasn't. It was a slider. Again, just like the previous slider, he laid off. This one was a little bit closer to the strike zone, not as bad as the last one, but still well outside the strike zone. He offered at it, hit the dribbler, and that led to 2 outs in the inning with the bases loaded. Trea Turner out at home. Max Kepler's up next. Technically flies out to shortstop, but really flew out to center field. And that was the air out of the balloon. And then Manny Machado takes Max Lazar deep to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. So now the Phillies go from down a run to 2 runs, and that feels like an insurmountable lead, unfortunately, when we all know the Phillies bats don't have it on a particular night. This one absolutely stings, despite the fact that you and I called it 2 days ago. After they put up 13 runs on the Giants, we went, you know what's going to happen in the next game. They're not going to be able to score, but come on. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let me just tell you about.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I'm going to go Ranger Suarez. Still absolutely incredible when you look at the numbers for him. And I just saw this pop up, but let's get to these numbers. 6 2/3 tonight, 6 hits, 3 runs. Only one of them was earned, 3 walks, un-Ranger-like, 5 strikeouts, 96 pitches, and just couldn't get himself out of that 7th inning, unfortunately. And now I'm just seeing this from Todd Zalecki of MLB.com. Ranger Suarez said he was asked to pitch in the All-Star game, but he declines, said he prefers to rest before the second half of the season, much like Zach Wheeler opting to just do whatever he can for the Phillies ball club and not for Major League Baseball, which, by the way, I am fine with. I know some people, oh, this is becoming like the Pro Bowl. Like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Let it become the Pro Bowl. If you're in a pennant race, like the Phillies are in the pennant race, if your backs are against the wall, like the Phillies' backs are against the wall, when, this fan base is like, hey, put up or shut up time with this Phillies team, then, please don't. Get named the All-Star. Enjoy the honor. I hope you don't play. When I was a kid, I know I'm out of touch with this, but when I was a kid, I loved seeing all the guys in the All-Star game. It was so great. So many great memories of the Midsummer Classic. But now I'm so agitated with this Phillies team, so impatient with this Phillies team. Zach Wheeler, go to a lake house. Go fishing or something. Just relax. Don't work a lure. Use a bobber so you don't have to, work that thing the whole time and rest the elbow, all that. But just relax. Some R&R for everybody. Ranger Suarez, put your elbow in the ice or the whirlpool, whatever you like. Just relax. I will say, though, I appreciate Jeff Passan because I feel like Jeff Passan really gets us. Jeff Passan said that this is just a Christopher Sanchez appreciation post. That is all. Yeah, because he's the next guy screwed because no one likes us. And yes, sometimes we care. As for the turning point of this game,
time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Turning point of this one is Nick Castellanos swinging at ball 4, well outside the zone. That would have been the game-tying walk. And then who knows what happens after that.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Christopher Sanchez getting snubbed again for the All-Star game. And Phillies bats disappearing after a 13-run performance, just like we all knew they would. When we come back, we'll get your comments on this game, and I'll weigh in on another Jeff Passan story from yesterday that I found very, very intriguing. All that more when we return. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. You guys have heard me talking about SupplyHouse.com before. How fantastic is SupplyHouse.com? Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts and 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. If you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you talk to a real person every time. And for the trade professionals looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, you can use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com, supplyhouse.com. And how about the Game Time app? Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. That's Locked On MLB. If you haven't decided, maybe you said at the last minute, I really want to go to that game. Wait for the All-Star break. Like, the All-Star break's already over. When it happens, of course. I want to go to the game. Bang. Right, that's where Game Time app comes into play. You can view your seat before you purchase the tickets, so you take the guesswork out of buying tickets. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Game Time app is the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB, making it easy to browse the app for exciting upcoming MLB games. Phillies games back from the All-Star break, second half of the season, playoff push. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Jeff Passan put some interesting things out there into the world about who the Phillies could be trading for. Now, in an article where he said the best possible trade candidates or fits for all 30 teams, very interesting. Manuel Clase of the Cleveland Guardians and Stephen Kwan of the Cleveland Guardians. Now, the thing I enjoyed about this message this note from Jeff Passan was the word maybe. Maybe it'll take Andrew Painter. Maybe it'll take Aiden Miller. Maybe it'll take Justin Crawford. I'm usually one that's more guarded than most when it comes to prospects. And I really don't want a $330 million player like Bryce Harper and a $300 million player like Trea Turner. Nick Castellanos making good money, and Kyle Schwarber still making good money before he makes even better money, probably with his last contract, and the rotation that you have already that's costing you a lot of money in Wheeler and Nola, who, remember him, he pitches for the Phillies too sometimes. I really don't want to have to deal prospects to help this team out further. But I do this deal in a New York minute. I do this deal in a heartbeat. Now, the only one that I'm a little skittish on about not wanting to trade is Justin Crawford. Andrew Painter, look, he could be great. He could be amazing. I'm not looking at this year of just barely sub-5 ERA saying this is what he's going to be in his career and he's already a bust or anything like that. I think he's going to be great. Aiden Miller, there was some talk about him recently figuring it out in in AA recently. If a 259 batting average in July is figuring it out, then I guess it is. He had a 412 on base percentage, so that's something, that's really good. But in June, he's down to 196, but still a 361 on base percentage. How about that? All right. Still, to me, that's not hot shot numbers. So Aiden Miller, shortstop, going to be blocked here for a while with Trea Turner anyway, and I know that's not what some people want to hear, but that's the facts. Justin Crawford is the guy that I would love to see come up right now and play for the Phillies. But if you're telling me that you're going to get Emmanuel Clase and you're going to get Steven Kwan, you're going to get guys that are multi-all-stars, you're going to get guys that are under 28 years old, you're going to get guys that you have control of for at least 2 more seasons, 2 with Kwan and 3 with Clase. Oh, and these also only happen to be your biggest problems that you have on this club right now. Hell yeah, I'm doing the deal. This isn't your normal rent a player where you just give a bunch of prospects and get a guy for 2 months. No, this is control over these players for a good amount of time and an opportunity also to pay them again down the line. As much as I know that the business aspect of this plays in when you're talking about those guys I mentioned already with big money contracts, whether it's Bryce Harper, whether it's Trea Turner, whether it's Aaron Nola or Zach Wheeler, for instance, just as an example, then hopefully you still re-sign Kyle Schwarber. I understand that a lot of money's going out there. You need guys that are just barely out of arbitration to save you money, or guys that aren't even arbitration eligible yet, like the rookies you would be bringing up along the way, whether it's Andrew Painter later this year or to start next year, whether it's Justin Crawford later this year or next year, Aiden Miller down the line, wherever you'd put him. Alec Boehm's going to be due before you know it. So this is a lot of money that is still allotted to these players. The Aiden Miller thing, I think he has a better opportunity to replace Bryson Stott at second base than anything. Or Trea Turner moves to second, and then Miller plays short. I don't know. We're talking 3-4 years down the line. I know how important it is to play the business aspect of this game, but nothing matters more than winning a World Series. And the Phillies could have an opportunity to win. Phillies have an opportunity to win a World Series if Kwan joins this lineup, who, by the way, gets on base, he's a three-time Gold Glover in left field. Yeah, I'd want that guy. And he's also a top-of-the-order guy where you could have Trea Turner leading off. You could have him batting second. Then you could move Harper down a spot. You could move Kyle Schwarber back down to the cleanup spot. Nick Castellanos would get down and move down another spot as well. Bohm would get moved down another spot. Don't let me forget him. To me, that's doable. I don't think it would take all 3 of those prospects. It might, but there's a chance it does, and you package some other players. Be very curious to see how that would play out. But I thought it was a very good suggestion by Jeff Passan. Before I get to the chat check, let me get into this real quick. This is your box score for tonight. Trea Turner working a couple of walks. I was surprised he didn't try to steal second earlier in the game. I was almost positive he was going to do that, but he didn't. And that was the 8th inning, I think. Yeah, he led off with the walk against Adam. Schwarber's at the plate. They decided for him to not try to steal second base. Adam doesn't have a strong pickoff play, unfortunately, for him. But the Phillies didn't take advantage of that. And that was that. But Schwarber did have the home run. Harper did have a hit today. Bohm had a hit today. Castellanos had the home run, but unfortunately the awful strikeout in the 8th inning. Max Kepler did nothing for you. Worked a walk at one point. Yay. JT Realmuto went up there today. He had a single. He let off one of the innings with a single. I think it was the fifth inning. Yeah, the fifth inning. The other opportunity they had to score, and that was that. Not a good day for our boy Brandon Marsh. Let's get into the chat check and see how your wonderful people are doing on this fine day. Sir Sketchable. What's up, Sir Sketchable? Ranger Danger. Joseph Grillo, what's going on? Bryce bouncing to first with the bases loaded, looking completely defeated. No reaction like Topper. No reaction like Topper, the wet noodle. Where is the fire inside these guys? Let's go. I really hope this isn't just a get me to the all-star break type of series. Struggling to score runs, says John, and to even get hits after scoring 13 runs. Where have we seen this before? Every other time, pretty much, it feels like. Jess Patrick's 2, what's going on? Starting the 8th, 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. That was Harper with the bases loaded in the 5th. Yes, that it was Harper with the bases loaded in the 5th. Morgan Landy, Kepler is garbage, but Turner should have. You think he should have scored on Bohm's hit? I don't think he makes it. I don't think it's close, to be honest with you. I think that hesitation with the ball, first off, the ball was hit hard because remember, it's starting off in the air on a line drive. So Turner doesn't know what to do with it. That's also why he pauses. That's why the ball gets to Tatis so quick. Turner is like just getting to third as Tatis is getting that baseball in short right. So I don't think Turner's scoring on that play. Back to horrid offense. So frustrating, says Evelyn. I agree. John, this group has to lead the league stranding runners on third with less than 2 outs. It's quite possible. Graham Francis, top of the 8th inning, 1 out, bases loaded. Do we score? No. Big don't. This seriously does my head in. This is a massive problem now. And it's not going away, it seems. No, unfortunately, it's not. Joseph Grillo, Nicky, insert nickname here with the bases juiced, 1 out. Kills some worms in front of home plate. Impressive, so tiring. Wait, what? Polar Buck. Well, that stinks. You know what else stinks? The Padres uniforms. I do think they're terrible. They look like if Saved by the Bell had a charity softball game. Now, don't get me wrong. I would be excited if Zach Morris and AC Slater had a charity softball game. As well as, of course, Kelly Kapowski. I mean, who we kidding here? You know, Lisa Turtle as well. If they just broke out and Screech Powers had a charity softball game, and, you know, even bring in Jessie, that random character with the long brown hair and the leather jacket. Throw her in once, too, and I'll watch that celebrity softball game. That's what the Padres uniforms look like. They look like you might have just woken up in the morning, teacher pops a test, you know you're in a mess, and your dog ate all your homework last night. Anyway, all right. Well, that stinks all around, says just bad. Timothy B. Yo, Farzetta, another good pitching effort that goes to waste again. The struggling with the bases loaded is beyond getting old. It's ridiculous. I concur. Danny Prado. Hey, buddy. Thank you, Farzi, for the post-game therapy after another mind-numbing performance. Well-constructed lineup. Thanks, Dave. John, I'm here for you, man. Anthony, how you doing? Panapinto. I say it? I didn't know that. I didn't know that right. I would have pinch hitting for Kepler in the 8th. You would have pitch hit for Kepler in the 8th with the bases loaded with Kemp or Sosa. Kepler with that uppercut swing is gone. You're facing a right-handed pitcher. You got a left-handed batter up there. I doubt Topper's making that when he's already platooning guys for the same reason. Look, I think, hold on. Let me just say, I would pinch hit for Max Kepler always because I don't want him on my team. So the less of him I see, the better. So yes, I would, if I'm Rob Thompson, I'm gonna be like, yeah, just screw my platoon. Let's get Kepler the hell out of here. Jerry, what's going on? Joke game, bases loaded against a bullpen pitcher. Oh, I mean, still. Sorry for the word there. Still, this is a really good bullpen. So I'm not, I get it right there. Spurger King. Dustin, yep, absolutely. Rest in peace. Joseph Brennan, random character, Torrey, not Jesse. Thank you. And yes, the Phillies are terrible. It was Torrey. A thousand apologies. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I look forward to being back with you guys tomorrow, hopefully talking about a victory on a nationally televised stage, by the way. Zach Wheeler will get the ball for the Phillies at a 7:35 start time on the West Coast. Yu Darvish will get the start. Yu Darvish for the Padres. No bueno so far this season for him. If I remember correctly, yeah, he's got one start. Yeah, okay. I thought, yeah. He's coming off his only start of the season. That was 3 2/3. He only threw 63 pitches. So, yeah. It was like, wait, when was the last time the Phillies faced him? It's been a minute. The 38-year-old Yu Darvish gets the start in this one, 0-1 with a 4.91 ERA. So, he's back. He's back, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This right here is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Back with you guys tomorrow night. Look forward to that. See you then. Bye.